Florida's got a new play caller, a new offensive scheme, which is probably good because they suck.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel.com. More on them in a moment. We love them. You love them. Today, he is Daniel. I'm Clint. Together, we're Locked On Bulldogs. We're talking about Florida. Tomorrow,
today, he is Daniel.
Who knows?
I'm Clint. You never know.
Who the heck knows? It's ebb and flow with us over here. Don't show them the rest of the studio.
One of us may be fired from this podcast before we record tomorrow. So you really don't know.
My buyout.
I'm looking for somebody to pay this buyout over here.
I'm looking for the buyout money. Today, we're talking about three things. We're talking about Florida's offense being inept and awful. Florida, new coach. Does it change everything for this cocktail party? And then lastly, can the defense actually find a pulse this week one time for us? Daniel, let's begin with this Florida offense. You mentioned it. Billy Napier, Sunbelt Billy, sails off from the sunset.
Sunbelt Billy.
If I were to force you to take a guess, and I actually do have a legit guess where I think he's going to coach next. If I were to give you where you believe he's going to coach next, where would it be?
Billy Napier.
Billy Napier. Sunbelt Billy.
I did have a conversation just yesterday with somebody where I asked the genuine question, who's a better coach, Billy Napier or Brian Kelly? And the answer is unequivocally Billy Napier. I would rather have Billy Napier than Brian Kelly as my coach. So maybe he'll go to LSU. Maybe he'll just take the LSU job.
Really
I don't know.
It's South Florida. When Golish gets another big job, and he's going to get
Florida.
It's going to be South Florida.
I think they can do better.
I do think
I
do as well. Let's talk about, however, this Florida team that he has just left in shambles, in a complete and utter wreck of an existence. DJ Lagway, Baugh, a couple other guys on the offensive side doing pretty dang well, all things considered, on this year. Been close in a couple of games that shouldn't have been competitive. A&M was a lot closer in the first half than it should have been. Snuck up on a couple of guys, took a couple of wins where they, quote, shouldn't have. But now looking back on the teams they did, maybe there was some warning signs for us. But Daniel, this offense, in a word, they stink. Go shower, go do some laundry, go get the Axe body spray that is exclusively sold in the state of Florida and nowhere else.
Yeah.
Get you a whole case of it and get it out because they stink, Daniel.
Yeah, so it's been really bad. We know that DJ Lagway's turned the ball over a bunch. We know that Ball is probably their best offensive player, and yet he had 24 carries for 49 yards against Miami. I'm not great at math, but that's horrifying. That's 20 plus carries for 2 yards a carry, Clint. That's called insanity, is what that's called.
It's not
that's
great.
Borderline. You should be institutionalized if you had to watch that. The Florida offense has been a struggle all year. And when you look at some of the underlying numbers, like offensive available yard percentage, that's basically a calculation, Clint, of wherever you start on your drive, however many yards there are available to you, what percentage of them do you get on every drive? How effective are you at moving the ball down the field? That is the goal, after all, of the offense. However you do it, fast or slow, explosive or methodical, how many yards are you able to eat up on every drive? Florida, 93rd in America.
Oh, boy.
In available yard percentage. Points per drive. Very simple metric. Offensively, how many points do you score per drive? A measure of your efficiency. Florida, 92nd in America in points per drive.
Oh, no.
Yards per play. a more fine-tuned measure of your efficiency. Maybe you struggle in the red zone, but you're able to move the ball effectively down the field. 95th in America in yards per play. And then possession efficiency. This is the one where I'll settle in for a bit.
Okay.
Florida this is non-garbage time possessions. This is how efficiently you either move the ball and score or get the other team off the field on each of your drives. And Florida is 93rd nationally in possession efficiency. You can see a theme developing here.
Squarely in the 90s.
Right, Daniel. In the 90s.
I'm going to continue. I'm going to go further with this third down conversion rate offensively from Florida. When they're at home, this is what's wild. At home, they are converting 46% of their third downs. Quite good. Neutral site or away games. 17%.
17.
17.
1-7. 70?
Nope. 1-7.
Okay. It's not ideal.
12 in the SEC out of 16 teams in offensive efficiency. Daniel, that's quite poor.
Quite poor, sure. I know what it feels like to be 12th in rushing last year, and it was quite poor. So seems like something. When you look at that, let me just give you some context for that, just for that possession efficiency. I could do this with any of them. Possession efficiency. Alabama, 6th nationally in possession efficiency. Georgia, 12th nationally in possession efficiency. Let's look at some of Georgia's other opponents other than Alabama. Ole Miss, 17th nationally. Georgia Tech coming up 24th nationally. Tennessee, 37th nationally. We continue to scroll down. Oh, there's Auburn, 49th nationally in possession efficiency.
I'm sorry.
Auburn.
Jackson Arnold Hugh Freeze.
That's Auburn. I'm going to continue scrolling here because I'll find right down here. There she is. There's Marshall at 68th nationally in possession efficiency. This is opponent adjusted, by the way. 68th nationally. That's Marshall. That's the Thundering Herd, who you might remember Georgia opened the season with. And then as we continue to scroll down, surely we're almost done. Oh, no, there's Kentucky at 89th nationally in possession efficiency. Reminder, Florida was 93rd behind all of those teams.
We're going to keep piling on because I think it just gives you a broader context. Third down efficiency for Florida versus FCS. Unranked teams. Okay. Unranked FCS. 53%. Florida's converting 53% versus ranked opponents. 27%.
Oh, no.
They are historically, unequivocally, and categorically awful on offense.
They've been ridiculously bad. Like, so much worse than Texas, who we give a lot of crap to, rightfully so. So much worse than Auburn, who we give a lot of crap to, rightfully so. Worse than Marshall and Kentucky, when you rank them against offenses that Georgia has faced so far this season. It's a really bad look for Florida. Now, they are changing the offensive play caller. How do we think that's going to impact the game plan, and how will that change the cocktail party? That's what we'll get into right after these.
But we won't let you know about FanDuel. NBA's back. No better place to get on the action than FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. If you've missed the start of a game or want to ride the hot hand, guess what? FanDuel has live bets on everything that that you can score next, or even fourth quarter comebacks. You can combine live bets with same game parlay, shoot a bigger payout. Keeps getting every single game keeps getting more exciting. And that's just the beginning. Get into FanDuel. They're fantastic. Right now, new customers get $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com, sign up, play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. That's how bad Florida is at footballing. They haven't been relevant in years and decades. They're going to get, and I'm not, look, I wish I was joking with you, but firing Billy Napier when you did was the domino that set everything off that you thought was going to get you first in line for the coach of your dreams.
Okay. But
see, what happened is that now you're fourth, fifth, sixth, maybe sixth when all is said and done. And no one's going to be committing to sign a document with you until all them other jobs are filled completely.
Honest question.
Yeah.
Honest question.
Is this the honest question you were going to ask me? You waiting for my reaction?
No, that was related to Brian Kelly. We covered it in the last episode.
Okay, good.
Better job. We're going to play better job. Okay.
Go.
Better job. Florida or Penn State?
It's Penn State, and it's not particularly close.
Okay. Better job. Florida or LSU?
LSU by 10,000 miles.
Better job. Florida or Clemson?
Again, it's Clemson, and I hate saying that.
When Lane Kiffin leaves for LSU, better job. Florida or Ole Miss?
For anybody besides Lane Kiffin, because I do truly think if Florida was the only opening that was there and there was going to be any other openings for like 3 years, Lane should take Florida, and I think he would make them a very good program. I really, really do.
Okay.
So, but now that Lane has all them other options open, he's never coming to Florida. Like, never in a million years. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that I've taken Lane out of the equation, because I think he's very, very unique to take on Florida, Ole Miss is the better job.
Clint, I would argue, I think Florida State's a better job than Florida. And it's about to be open too.
Texas.
They're not even the best job in their own state that's available. Like, forget about Miami.
No.
I'm talking about the available jobs.
Correct. Okay.
Florida is not it. They are it because they're a basketball school. Clint, like they see the writing on the wall. Listen, I want Georgia to invest more NIL money in college basketball. There's no reason that you can't be good at both things. There are schools that are good at both things.
Okay.
Florida has jumped the shark. They have said, yeah, we used to be good at both things. And now we only have the option to be good at one thing. And so that's where we're going to invest all of our money. And that's why the football program is in the toilet, because of 5 consecutive awful hires. Like, it's hard to hire that many bad people back to back to back.
I'm going to go further with this. And this whole segment, we're going to get to the offense for Georgia.
That's what we said we were going to talk about.
We're going to get to it. We're going to get
carried away with how bad of a job.
But let me just stomp on your hopes a little bit more.
Yeah, let's dump on Florida a little bit more, because you know Florida fans listening. And you're in shambles right now.
Eli Drinkovitz is in a better coaching position currently at Missouri, and he would not leave the program.
He wouldn't leave Missouri
to be your head football coach. Like that's the guy you should go after, Florida. It's a boring hire. Like truly and honestly,
yeah.
It's a boring hire. He's actually a pretty good.
And he's kind of a dick, so he would fit it's vibes wise, it's locked in. You understand?
He's not going to leave Mizzou for you.
But he wouldn't take it. This is not like Alabama's going after Dan Lanning and he turned it down. This is Eli Drinkovitz
being like,
turned it down.
It's not even getting past his agent to talk to him. Like that's the level that the agent's like, I can tell you right now, we're not interested.
Whoops.
Okay. Let's talk about this Georgia passing attack because Florida defense, Daniel. Let's first elaborate glowingly on the job that, again, the best offensive coordinator that Georgia has. The best coordinator.
Yes.
The one who's scoring more points at a greater rate with greater success than the once employed Todd Monken. I'm not making that up. He has better efficiency numbers than Todd Monken. Gunnar Stockton, who, by the way, has a better passing efficiency percentage than any other quarterback in the SEC. Better than Ty Simpson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Better than Trinidad Chambliss.
By the way, all of those, I'm not going to bore you with the names of them again. All of those statistical categories that I read off for Florida, these are Georgia's rankings in all of them. Ready? 12th, 8th, 12th, 6th. Remember how Florida was 93rd, 95th, 92nd, 93rd, 12th, 8th, 12th, 6th. That's where Georgia ranks in all of those offensive efficiency metrics.
Okay.
So these are categorically different programs headed in categorically different directions. Now, Georgia's offense, quite good. Georgia's defense has a tendency of making bad offenses look pretty good.
Correct.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Florida's offense, on the other hand, new coordinator, got an opportunity to infuse some new life into the program. How much of an advantage do you think that is for Florida? I can tell you it's early in the week, Clint. I'm going to make a statement. You just react.
Okay.
It's early in the week. The Locks episode's not for a couple more days.
Yes.
But listen to me and listen to me carefully. I will be taking the Florida first quarter line, no matter what it is. I will be betting on Florida in the first quarter with whatever numbers FanDuel will give me. They're not out yet at the time of this recording. Kirby Smart and Glenn Schumann and the Georgia defense cannot stop anyone at the beginning of games when they have an entire year's worth of tape to go off of. They have seemingly no clue what is going to be run at any point early in the game. Now, Georgia's going up against an offense that has had 2 weeks to put together a never-before-seen game plan, led by a never-before-seen play caller. You cannot possibly bet on this Georgia defense to not be caught off guard early. Am I crazy, Clint, for thinking Florida is definitely going to come out and score in this game?
There are two things that really make this interesting for me, and we'll get back to it in the third segment. We're going to let you know how this offense could get rolling against the defense and what it means for a showdown like this. But I'm just going to say this. The defense for Florida, red zone, they actually get a little bit stingier. Now, Tom, you've heard this in the past, beginning of the season especially, Georgia's offense in the red zone, in the 30 red scoring area, has been lackluster. Turn it on recently, putting some efficiency, putting some points on. We're doing good, especially against Ole Miss. But here's where I don't see a defense for Florida being able to stop. They're going to be worse than Ole Miss, Daniel. And the reason I say that is because they might have better talent than Ole Miss, but the secondary in particular, I'm going to list to you Dijon Johnson, Aaron Gates, Jordan Castell, Kamari McLean, Sharif Denson, Devin Moore, all of those secondary issues out. True freshmen are starting at corner, nickel, and it's a nightmare for them right now. Florida is in a bind in the secondary. That's not even to include on the defensive line what's happened. I think Georgia, Mike Bobo, Gunnar Stockton are going to do whatever they want and however they want it on the offensive side. So if that means let's do 13 plays, let's do 8 plays, let's do shots, let's do run. I think it is deer in headlights for this Florida defense. We're going to talk offensive side, a little different, but I think we will score at will. 8 possessions, sure. Hey, it's going to be Ole Miss all over again.
That is fascinating. We'll get into this more. Hear what Clint thinks the Georgia defense will do against this Florida offense. But first,
these are, in fact, game time. College football's back. We're so excited. Tailgates,
still
rivalries, back and staying.
Never left.
Don't do endless queues. Well, to those who are fans, endless queues, hidden fees, price jumping out at checkout. Don't do that. That's why we use Game Time. No surprise fee. What you see is what you pay last minute. Actually, the tickets get cheaper.
Hey-o.
Love zone deals. Pick the section. Game Time picks the seats, and you save big. Take guesswork out of buying college football tickets. Use promo code LOCKEDON College, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, promo code LOCKEDON College, $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today.
So you say the Florida defense going to have a hard time stopping this Georgia offense. Well, believe me, I don't need to be sold on this Georgia offense efficiently moving the ball down the field. We've seen it once. We've seen it 1,000 times. We've seen Gunnar Stockton in big games rise to the occasion, be able to move the ball and score at will. I am still concerned about Colby Young. I know that we lost him early in the Ole Miss game. Didn't seem to affect us moving the ball, but that is a big loss for Georgia. I like the Georgia offense. So maybe, Clint, instead of taking Florida plus whatever in the first quarter, maybe when FanDuel gives me a line, I take the first quarter over because I still maintain the Florida offense is going to cook early against this Georgia defense. I literally cannot see another way that it plays out.
Here's the way it plays out. 2 things. We've said for the longest time that it feels like assignment football, and it feels like Schumann, and it feels like everybody on the defense side is catching. They're not attacking. They're waiting for the offense to make a declaration, and then they will go. Okay, here's why, in just the stupidest luck for us, that having a coaching change, it's advantageous that that's our system.
Okay.
What film do you need to watch now, Glenn? Because you haven't watched any so far. There's nothing on this new system. It is totally and honestly, everybody out there for first 3 series, Florida and Georgia being like, what the hell are we going to run?
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what kind of podcasting awards are handed out, but I'd like to make a nomination. My man will find any way to say something positive about this Georgia defense. I'm talking about he will talk himself in any way possible into optimism when there is literally no evidence for optimism to be found. He's out here saying our lack of ability to prepare for opponents will actually be to our advantage because it's a new coach.
You tell me.
Well, Georgia really struggles against the run, and this is the number 1 rushing team in the nation. So it could actually play into our advantage because we already suck against the run. And so when they gash us with the run, we were ready for it. Nobody takes a punch like this Georgia team.
Oh gosh,
nobody takes a punch like that.
I actually think this backyard mentality. If Lagway is that guy, that's athlete. I still think we have athletes on the defense. It's the entire season has been assignments, missed eyes, miscommunication. That's what has absolutely confusion and looking around, scratching our heads, not being able to do something. Here's something that I haven't seen us do one time. It's a very simple technique. You have a
Okay.
stacked receivers. You have 2 DBs, safety, corner, star, whatever it is. Star inside guy lines up, comes up on the receiver closest to the line. You either stab or you switch. Stab means I'm taking the first guy no matter where he goes, I'm going with him.
Mm-hmm.
Or switch. I'm going to take the inside guy. So if the guy I'm lined up on, he goes out, the guy behind comes in, I'm going to take him. Or vice versa. Okay. Simplest thing in the entire world. DBs, you see them communicating this all day long. Every time they come up, they communicate. We can't do that. Like that's not an ability that we have to do.
No. Instead, what we're going to do, stacked wide receivers on the left-hand side, we're going to put 2 DBs 12 yards off the line of scrimmage and let them throw a screen pass and get an 8-yard head start.
And then
that's
and then
our
when
strategy.
I tackle, I'm gonna hold everything in and hope that this area takes some
That's
time.
our strategy. Listen, we read out all those numbers. Florida's been absolutely abysmal.
Horrible.
I hate this game, Clint,
Hate.
with the fire of 1,000 suns. I am disgusted by how I just know it's going to play out on Saturday. You can call me pessimistic. You could call me whatever you want. I feel like I've already seen it. I feel like I've already watched the game. I don't think this. The question will be, with nothing to go off of, can Georgia continue to adjust the way that they have all season and figure it out, get it right? Kirby Smart, of course, doesn't believe that they've made any adjustments. The team has just magically played better later in the games than they do earlier in the games. That's not related to any specific things. But can Georgia pull another one of those out? I do trust that the offense is going to be able to keep up. I do trust that the offense is going to be able to score. I know that Florida's offense, even with the best play caller in America, isn't as good as some of the offenses Georgia has faced already. And so I do feel relatively good about our ability to hold them, I don't know, under 30.
Great.
But I just don't like the way this game plays out, Clint. I don't care for it at all.
It's going to be bucket worthy all game. It's the cocktail party. This defense has not shown us a pulse all year. It's unlike anything else that Kirby has coached. And I don't know. It's new territory for us, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Sure.
I don't like that.
No.
I like known commodities. I like going to a restaurant that I know if I spend $20 on a plate, it's going to be good. Right now, this is a brown bag special at a food truck, and you don't know what's coming out of the back.
You have no idea. But you know that it looks a little suspect. When you peer through the little window, you don't quite love the look of the gentleman cooking your food. I'll tell you that.
You're not like the cut of his jib.
He's wearing a gray sweatsuit, top to bottom.
Inside
in the middle
of a
of July.
smoke-filled food truck.
The middle of July in a smoke-filled food truck. Man's wearing gray sweats, top to bottom. You don't love it. We got more on this Florida game. We're going to come back. We'll have locks on Thursday. Excited, nervous, don't sleep on Friday. We got lots to cover. All of that and more later this week, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.